It is January, and you know what that means. Rumble season is upon us as we gear up to go on the road to WrestleMania. Some Rumble participants stick in our minds forever, but some of them, they get left behind. I'm Dan from the Sweet Chinwag Podcast with WRESTLEBUDDY, and I'm counting down the top 10 Royal Rumble participants that you might have forgotten about. Number 10, Fake Razor Ramon, Fake Diesel, 1997. Oh, new generation era WWE, how we love and hate you. Fake Razor Ramon and Fake Diesel, the starter of all of wrestling's great philosophical questions, only had a short moment to stay around in the entirety of the WWE, but in the Royal Rumble in 1997, Fake Razor only stayed long enough to just about say hi, but Diesel got in a good 17 minutes, actually the third longest in the match. How surprising you'd think, and how far a young Glenn Jacobs would come. Obviously, this was a one-off Rumble appearance, but that didn't mean that there wasn't great things to come very, very soon for one of them. Number 9, Haku, 2001. Whatever name you know him by, it's well known just how respected Haku or Meng is in the wrestling business. Very well known for being one of those people that you just do not mess around with. All the way to the infamous story of the DX invasion of WCW, where they were told, if Haku walks out, just leave. His return in 2001 was even more significant as he was still WCW's reigning hardcore champion at the time. Unfortunately, his run only lasted a couple minutes, didn't really seem to go much far from there, but he still very much earned his respect in this industry. Number 8. Rick Rude, 1990. Now, I know what you're thinking. Rick Rude, on a forgotten list? What are you talking about? But there's an important thing that people don't remember. Rick Rude only competed in one Rumble. In 1989, he was stuck in a pose down with the Ultimate Warrior, which, by the way, Rick Rude absolutely should have won. And by the time 91 came around, he'd already left for WCW, with his 1997 return only really lasting for a cup of coffee before leaving for WCW again after the Montreal Screwjob. 1990 was a fantastic showing and really cemented just why Rick Rude was one of the absolute pillars of WWE at that time. Number 7. Mil Mascaras, 1997. Mil Mascaras is known throughout the wrestling world as a pioneer of lucha libre. In Mexico is probably second only to El Santo in terms of popularity. And in 1997, with WWF wanting to make a mark with the Rumble from San Antonio's Alamo Dome, they started a brief partnership with Mexico's AAA, which featured several luchadors at the 97 Rumble, along with Mil Mascaras, including Pirov, Cibernetico, and the Latin Lover participating in the Rumble match, while other heroes like Hector Garza and Perro Aguayo Sr. appeared on the undercard. Most infamously, Mascaras eliminated himself from the Rumble by jumping off the top rope onto the man he just eliminated, Piero. Number 6. El Torito, 2014. The 2014 Rumble is probably best well known for being the one that should have been won by Daniel Bryan, but a decision that really confused everyone and really ended up going nowhere. And in a night lacking a lot of surprises, there was one that people probably definitely didn't expect in El Torito, the mascot for Los Matadores, that entered at number 20 and even picked up an elimination on Fandango before being thrown off the ring by Roman Reigns. Number 5. Max Moon, 1993. Just to prove a point that lightning definitely can't strike twice, 1993 came after the much critically acclaimed 1992 Rumble. Fortunately for 1993, it was nowhere near as good. One of the many signs of the burgeoning new generation was Max Moon, cartoony-looking astronaut that roamed the WWE being billed from being from outer space. It was his only pay-per-view appearance, and he only lasted 2 minutes with 0 eliminations. Forgettable wrestler in a very forgettable Rumble match. Number 4. Dan Severn, 1999. Chances are, had he been born slightly earlier, or even slightly later, Dan Severn would have been a pro wrestling sensation. But with the rise of Brock Lesnar and a more shoot style of independent wrestling, he could have taken the landscape by storm. Upon entry into the 1999 Rumble, Severn began attacking Steve Blackman, who he was feuding with at the time, but fortunately, most of this was missed as Austin and McMahon was seen as being more important, and a hell of a moneymaker it was. And a huge shame that two guys who could have been really legit for the WWF at the time, unfortunately, just got lost. Number 3, Jonathan Coachman, 2006. Michael Cole isn't the only commentator to have appeared in a Royal Rumble match. No, in the 2000s, Jonathan Coachman was actually one of the first ones to really try his hand at wrestling at the time. Having joined WWF in '99, he pretty much only got used as a backstage talent, most famously being interviewed with The Rock, Austin, and all of the huge names at that time. But slowly, through the Ruthless Aggression era, he would grow and start transitioning to becoming like a WWF superstar. Beginning in 2003, he would slowly start competing in more and more matches and start doing more and more training, which eventually led to the Rumble entry in 2006. Although he was still technically an announcer, he made a surprise appearance in 2006 and actually, like I said, competed in a match against Jerry Lawler to get that spot. Unfortunately, it ended in 30 seconds, being eliminated by The Big Show. Number 2, Jericho Tenryu, 1993 and 1994. There's little more that I can add to the legend of Jericho Tenryu as one of Japanese wrestling's absolute heroes of the late 70s through to the 90s. In the 90s, he formed his own promotion, Super World of Sports, and through this developed a brief working relationship with Vince McMahon and WWF. This led to several appearances on WWF television in that period, including 2 Royal Rumble appearances. In his first appearance, entering at number 9 and being eliminated by The Undertaker. In 1994, he would have his revenge though, joining a group of many other heels aided by Mr. Fuji, Yokozuna, and even the Great Kabuki in the defense of Yokozuna's WWF Championship against The Undertaker, before making his appearance in the 94 Rumble at number 24. And number 1, Takao Omori, 1996. Now, you'll be forgiven if you don't remember Takao Omori's contribution in Rumble history. In 1996, he only lasted 3 minutes before being eliminated by Hunter Hearst Helmsley and Jake Roberts. Very well regarded in his home nation of Japan, and in his home promotion of All Japan Pro Wrestling in the 90s, he was a tag team specialist, including being part of No Fear with Yoshihiro Takayama, being the first team to win the All Asia Tag Team Championship and the World Tag Team Championship at the same time, with wins of the IWGP Tag Team titles and a World Championship in Pro Wrestling 01 and the All Japan Triple Crown much later. Which just goes to show that sometimes a short Rumble appearance isn't a death sentence. And that's our list. Is there anyone you think should have been on there that we've missed? If there is, let us know down in the comments or on our social. I'm Dan with the Sweet Chinwag Podcast with WrestleBuddy's Top 10s. See you next time.